You sound like you got hit by a bus.
Yeah, I know. It's what I sound like in the morning.
Hello and welcome to REKT Podcast. I am Bunchu alongside my esteemed colleague and co-host, Chamber. Chamber, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How are you doing?
Oh my God, we are bright and early, coffee and crypto on this Friday morning, and I got to tell you, I mean, I don't understand how you could sound like this in the morning and then just be a different voice in the afternoon. What happens? Do you get like professionally flushed out every day or what?
No, I just got to knock the rust off of the day. You know what I mean?
Man, you get real rusty at night, huh?
I think it's the snoring.
The old apnea.
Yeah, I don't like to call it full blown apnea. Just a comical snore, really.
Oh, the comical snore, like we're talking cartoon snoring.
That's correct. Where the blankets roll up into my mouth and then blow out onto my feet.
But yes, that's exactly what I'm picturing here. But so I thank you for getting up this early with me because I am taking a trip, but we couldn't miss the podcast because we are a podcast of the people. So we're up bright and early recording. I'm drinking my coffee. I hope you have some coffee.
I haven't even made the coffee yet because all my kids wake up way too easily. So I just like tiptoe.
Oh, speaking
downstairs.
I'm surprised I don't sound like you. My kid was a unmitigated disaster last night. Ugh.
Well, we were recording our other show yesterday. I thought I heard G-Unit.
My God. He's been just like, I don't know what his deal is. He is the crankiest kid lately. And last night wasn't any better. Like, he was so cranky and tired last night. We put him to bed at super early, at like 6 o'clock, because he was exhausted. And then he woke up at midnight, woke up at 3, woke up at 4, woke up at 4:30, woke up at 5:30.
I think, what is he, like 6, 7, 8 months now?
He's 4.
As you can see, the Godfather knows exactly what's happening.
He's 4 months.
What is he, 15, 16 years old?
Was he driving now? He looks like he's 7 months old. No joke.
No, because I was going to say, you'll have a couple of things happen. The teeth will grow in, and that will fuck up your sleep cycle. And then they do something, I think it's called like a sleep calibration later. Like they learn how to sleep, and then after a few months they forget how to sleep, and they have to kind of they learn it again. So maybe that's, I don't know, maybe that's what he's going through.
Maybe, but he's learning to really piss me off. That's what he's learning.
I forget what was like yesterday. Somebody was play. I don't know if it was just the TV, but I heard like a baby screaming.
No, that was him.
No, no, we weren't doing the show.
Oh.
But like a baby screaming is literally it for me. It's the worst sound.
This kid's got a set of lungs on him too. Holy cow! He can. He's got pipes. But anyway, so yeah, I'm equally as tired, but I don't have.
My voice will progressively get better.
It's already sounding better. You just needed the pep in your step. However, the markets overnight have taken the pep out of their step.
They sure have.
So yesterday we were sitting around, I thought 38, 39.
We were.
And $2,700 Ethereum. And this morning I wake up and we are looking at our friends at CoinGecko, and we're back at $35,740. So we are minus 11% in the last 7 days yet again. Minus 10.4 on Ethereum. Concerned?
A little bit, because we all kind of went through or at least lots of us went through kind of the 2017, 2018 stuff. So that's always kind of in the back of your head where, we just go into full blown bear market for the next 3 years, which is, I guess, a possibility. But the more I look, I kind of look at the Bitcoin chart to kind of tell me what's happening for altcoins. And that's kind of what I base most of my kind of predictions on. And honestly, the Bitcoin, pardon me, the Bitcoin, little rust, the Bitcoin chart, it doesn't have that blow off top that we saw, or that you see in most, end of cycles.
You've mentioned this a couple times.
Like, it's not good right now. Obviously, we went from $65,000 to 35. Like, we need to get another 30 grand just to get back to all time highs. But I just don't see it being 3 years of bear market. You might be a couple of months of chop, which is totally possible. But I don't see, knock on wood, I don't see lower lows coming. I think we've hit the low. It seems like we tapped about just under 30K, like 29.8. I don't see it going lower than that. And everything seems to be getting bought up. There's some news stories I think that we have later on today that kind of help justify that claim I just made. But I don't know. I don't feel that bad. We're not going straight to, we're not going to go straight to $1 million for Bitcoin. But, who knows? I think we'll be okay. But it might take a couple of months.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
No.
At all. I think you need these cool downs. You need a little bit of a reset. And I think you also need, I'll say this every week until we're back at 15K, you need a little bit of perspective, right?
Right, totally.
We're still 15,000 above previous all-time highs. Yeah, we're not at 70 grand, but I think now you've even seen the potential of what you can do, what can be had, whereas, some people were skeptical that you could ever even get that high,
Right.
And the last time we thought maybe we'd never even break all-time high again at some point. Those are hashtag bear market things, bear market thoughts, right? But,
yeah.
I think there's a lot to be positive about amidst the precipitous drop we've seen in the last couple weeks. Are you buying here?
I'm not. Like, if you have fresh, like, again, I'm in a little bit of a predicament where I don't necessarily want to be taking fresh fiat out of my home ecosystem.
So I just got my tax return.
Yeah.
And it's taking all of my might not to just take the whole goddamn thing and just dump it into Ethereum.
Yeah, that's not necessarily. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think that's a bad thought. I don't know. I would just say wait for confirmation, because if we don't get confirmation, we may get lower lows.
Yeah. So what are you seeing lately on the charts for, let's just say, both Bitcoin and Ethereum? Because you've somehow become the resident chartist of the show.
Weird.
Yeah, super weird. Mostly because of the fact that I don't look at a damn chart to save my life anymore.
I'm not a chart guy, but I look at charts every single day.
Right. So that's why I'm going to you for Cole Diamond's chart segment of the week.
So strictly Bitcoin first. Like I said, 29. Like, if it goes below 29.8, then hang on tight until we find another bottom.
Okay, so 29.8 is your area. Now, did we touch that on the last dip?
We did.
Okay,
we did,
and it bounced pretty quickly.
Yeah,
off
pretty
that.
quickly. Pretty quickly.
As the traders would say, violently.
Yeah. We haven't. It's been higher highs since then. So the next lowest point was 31, and then 34.8.
Now what time period are these? These daily candles?
Dailies, daily candles. And now we're at 35 again, but again, it's bound. Like I think when you started, I think you said 35.8 when we first started talking about this. It went to 35 in that short period of time. And now
just since we started talking,
just literally since we started.
Oh wow,
talking.
you sure did. And now it's bouncing back to 30.
Now it's bouncing, right? So I'm looking at the daily candles, and it's like, okay, it's higher highs. It's the lows aren't being eaten up. So to me, that's a positive sign. But we still haven't cracked. Like, we basically, every time we touch 40K, it gets rejected. So until I see north of 40K on, like, I want to see like 42 on Bitcoin. If we see like kind of up above there and hold, I think that's a good positive sign.
So this is a really good point to maybe talk about for anybody that's new, right? So you're talking about a trading concept, which is basically, you said wait for confirmation. And it's almost like breakout trading. But essentially what you're saying is you would rather, from a standpoint of risk reward for downside, you would rather buy in a little higher. Correct. Knowing that you've broken a resistance level rather than buy potentially in the middle of chop or what could be considered the beginning of a downtrend, just because we might be down 12% this week. And so
right,
I think that's an interesting point to make for newer people, because everybody, if you're new to markets or if you're new to crypto in general, obviously there's some serious volatility, and if everybody screams buy the dip, but to your point, if you don't know where the resistance levels that you're looking for that breakout are, you might just be buying in no man's land. So to your point, buying in a little higher, knowing you're seeing a confirmed break of a level, from a risk reward standpoint, is much higher if you're going to be trading, right? So like, if you're somebody like me who's buying to hold and I'm not really looking to ever trade or sell, you might have a little different strategy.
But I would even say someone like you that just wants to buy at a good price. It's still 35.
Yeah, well, it's time value of money as well.
Right.
Like what I can do with my money if I'm sitting in this no man's land and
you could make no money
for 10 months. Yeah, exactly. And I would lose my buying power for anything else,
right,
rather than buying a confirmed level that is likely to increase 10-20% from that spot.
And it's still $35,000 Bitcoin, man. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like
but see, like
7K.
I'm not sure that
maybe it doesn't apply anymore, but in my head,
I think this might be the new norm. Like,
you're very possibly right.
Like, and maybe not 35, but I would say, I don't see us going below 20.
I don't either, honestly.
So okay, so when you're really, that's
basically if we break 29. Then just set a bid for 20,500, and you'll probably get it eventually.
Yeah, so I would say right now we're chopping. I mean, it's choppy, right?
Yeah.
And are you seeing the same with Ethereum? And now you look at Ethereum, as most people probably should, in relation to the Bitcoin chart and not USD, because USD is essentially pegged somewhat to the price of Bitcoin.
Correct. And I'm looking at the ETH BTC chart right now, which kind of gives you a different appreciation for what could be with Ethereum. And I got to tell you, I haven't looked at it in a couple of days. It looks pretty nice.
Nice buying area, you mean?
It's just
strong.
The structure looks nice. So we pierced 0.08 Ethereum BTC, and then shortly thereafter, we had the retrace for everything, We had a bottom of,
So what's it at now?
It's so it went to as low as 0.055.
Oh, wow.
It bounced to 0.074, and now we're retesting, but the support level is at, where's my support level? Sorry. It's at 0.067, and it's about to touch that again, and I feel once it touches that, it's going to blast off again. It looks like it's coiling up nicely and ready to go. And that's what happens if we see chop with Bitcoin, is the
right,
BTC pairs.
That's why alt season happens.
Correct. And I wish I was around. Obviously, I'm famously got in at the top of the last Bitcoin bull market. But I wish I was around, maybe kind of when you were around, maybe like April, to see what was happening then, to give me a better.
You could have just fucked up a little longer.
A little longer, for sure. But I wish I could. I wish I would have seen the action in the summer months prior to that 27 bull run of Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because it might look something like this. But that ETH BTC chart looks okay. So ETH might not be a bad buy here.
So I should dump my entire tax refund.
Your entire life savings. Yes.
All right, so let's round out the top 10 here. We got Tether at 3, Binance down 17% again, or almost 18% again this week, $320. Cardano down 17.9%, 147. Doge down 23.1%. XRP down 26.9%. Skipping USD or USD coin, Polkadot comes in at number 9, down 30%. And Internet Computer still holding strong at 31.9. I don't feel as bad for not knowing what this was now
ICP?
After our last show. Yeah, because it sounded like most people had no idea what this was, and it just showed up in the top 10. So
I have to. I just got a tweet notification. It's just like, I don't know if you get them, but like just a popular tweet. It's not somebody I follow necessarily, but it's a very popular crypto tweet right now. Can I recite what the gentleman wrote here? This is from Alejandro. This is at Pastor 1314. He writes here, bear targets. So these are worst case scenarios.
Oh, wow. Okay, so this is absolute viral. This is going to go very viral.
Yeah. BTC, 10 to 12K.
Okay.
Ethereum, 300 to 400. Ooh, that's rough. And BNB, $25 to $28.
What?
That's the bear market predictions from Alejandro.
Wow.
I don't know if that seems. That seems very
man. I don't care if I spend every dime I have on the drop from $2,400 to $300 ETH. I will do it, and I will just literally spend my entire life working for Ethereum if that happens. Like, you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, but I just get reminded.
Yes, but I don't care. It's a cycle though. Like it's a cycle, right? So, you're going to have to make a decision whether you want to jump in or not at some point, right? The problem is, like, the thing with the bear markets is the same. It's almost worse feeling than you have when things are going up, because when things are going up, you feel like they're always going to go up, and you buy in, right? And you may make money because they may keep going up, right? It's it's true. You follow the trend is your friend, but when you go down, you feel like there's never a bottom, like ever. I mean, the fact that I don't have 1,000 Ethereum because it was $80 and we thought it could go lower, like what the hell? But like, think about how insane that sounds. Like, think about how insane that sounds now. So, are you going to let that happen to yourself again? Probably not.
See, my fear is the same questions or the same conversations we're having right now. It's a different number, but remember we were saying, $500 Ethereum just seems right. Just seems like the right number. Like it's never gonna. It's always 500. Like it went to $1,500, and then it bear marketed down to 500 eventually, and then it kind of stayed at $500, and that was kind of like, oh yeah, that's how Ethereum should be. Like that feels right for Ethereum, and then it went to $80.
Yeah, but that was during
the bear market, right? 100%. But we were saying similar things with Bitcoin. I remember people listening to other people's podcasts, and people would put out the prediction, "Oh, like we're going to see a $3,000 Bitcoin," and they were laughed at the time.
I actually thought they were right, and they ended up doing it. It ended up happening. It was a black swan event, but it happened. But like, you're going to have to make your bets at some point.
At some point, you will. Yes.
So like, where?
And again, like I said before, the Bitcoin chart doesn't seem to be going into bear market. Like we didn't see the blow off top that we typically see before the start of a bear market.
I think we really need to think about what a bear market would look like as far as prices go.
I think it's what we said.
It was a 2-year plus bear market, right?
I think a blow off top is between 100K and 150K, and then bear market again.
So if that's the case, right?
Yep. I know what I'm saying. I'm saying two things.
Well, I'm just like playing devil's advocate here, because if you're telling me that a blow off top is at 150K, right?
Yep.
And then, say the proper price of Ethereum is going to be that 0.7 range, right? Mm-hmm. You're talking that's insane. It doesn't work. That's $105,000 Ethereum.
Is it a $10,500 Ethereum?
No.
Is it? I don't know.
It's 0.7, correct?
0.07.
Oh, 0.07. Yeah. Yes. So it's $10,500.
Yeah, which is totally.
Yeah. So okay, now then think of what a bear market would be, which would say about an 80% drawdown. Would you say? Like even that's pretty extreme
on Bitcoin? Yeah.
Okay, so if it's an 80% drawdown of 150,000, so let's say you have, so that's 30,000.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay, so then you take
that's almost exactly what happened, right? Just a 1 degree of magnitude bigger.
So then
right?
you have a $2,100 Ethereum.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so those are your bear market predictions. If you're thinking in this cycle, we still see a blow off top,
yes,
of that magnitude.
Yeah, but we could also just be going into a bear market and we not know it yet. But that's why I want to see that.
But again, so then we'll say, okay, let's do the same math, right?
All right.
The blow off top is what, 68, 69, or it wasn't a blow off top, but the top
wasn't. Yeah, say 65.
Okay, 65, right?
Yeah.
So then you had what did we say? 0.08 essentially was what Ethereum hit.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so that was not quite. It was that would be 5,200. But so say we had 65.
But they didn't. Now they don't hit them at the same time. That's the thing, right? So just because Bitcoin got to 65.
And in a bear market that started at 65,000. With an 80% drawdown, you're looking at 13,000.
Isn't that what that guy said?
Yep, that's it. That is what that guy said. So now, if you have a $13,000 Bitcoin, you're then the guy's going to be right again on 0.07, $910 Ethereum.
Pretty close.
He's off on that one. If he said 300, he's half.
300 to 400. Yeah, no, you're right. I think, again, just kind of getting back to that $30,000, I think that's the line of demarcation. If we stay above that, it might be choppy for a little bit. But if we close below that, I'm going to USD.
Can we put a Twitter poll out? What's more likely to happen that people think a $150,000 Bitcoin in this cycle, or a $13,000 Bitcoin from
All right,
here?
We'll put that up. Yeah.
Well, which happens first?
Okay.
I'd just like to see what people think as the sentiment. I bet you get a lot of answers of 13K. Right.
Yeah.
Second.
There's usually a good mix of bears and bulls, I think.
Yeah, but it usually leans toward what the sentiment is at the moment, which I think is a little bit bearish.
Yeah.
Overall.
But again, we lost so much so fast too. That's also kind of a good thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I can give you a positive outcome scenario.
150K isn't positive.
Yeah, no, exactly. That is it.
I mean,
but yeah, it's not. Again, my gut is I'm about 60-40 bull, I would say. That's where
60-40 bull. Okay.
Yeah. There's only 40% of me that's bearish.
I'm man, I can't believe I'm about to say this.
100%.
I'm like 70-30 bull.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know.
So everybody sell now.
You all should. I'm way late all the time. Everybody should be selling because I just said that.
But no, I don't think you're wrong. Again, I'm hedging. I feel like we're bullish, more bullish than bearish.
Well, I think you said it. If you break below that 29, maybe think about putting your cash on the side.
Yeah,
or at least loading up for some buys.
USDCs. Use your pegs, right? Like use those dollar USD pairs.
Hashtag pegging.
Pegging. It's all the rage.
That's what it's called, right?
Right. Isn't that what it's called?
I think it is.
I see it all over Twitter.
I think it is called that.
I assume they were part of crypto.
All right. I mean, look, that's some hardcore Bitcoin Ethereum analysis that you're only going to get from two guys that don't know what they're talking about.
I think Brian and Josh would be proud.
By the way, apparently Up Only is in some copyright infringement.
Oh, so I've heard that.
Brian, if you're listening, you will be getting a cease and desist letter from REKT Podcast.
Yeah.
For using our key phrase.
Yeah. So you've been put on notice.
I don't know any other podcast that talks about another podcast as much as we do.
More than ours. I feel it's not reciprocated either.
No, of course not. Yeah, they don't give a shit about us. But I think it's funny. We're like the little brother that always just like pulling on your shirt, like, "Hey, come play with us."
Yeah.
Like, no. But anyway, shall we get to a couple news articles?
I think we should.
Let's get to the news. All right, I'll start us off here. This was just in yesterday at 8:10. So speaking of, bear bull market, Wales bought $3 billion of Bitcoin when its price fell, according to Chainalysis. So this was when Bitcoin was dropping as low as $30,000. Apparently, according to the stats, the whales of the world bought over 77,000 Bitcoin last week, which is about $3 billion. So we're seeing some strong buying come in. But again, we've seen that before. But there's only so many times those guys can step in and buy at levels before they're out of cash, right? So,
right.
That's where you see what happens is you come back down, you hit those support levels, and the more they tap, the more people run out of cash, and that's how they break, right? Like that's what happens, right? But people have bought the dip, particularly in the $30,000 to $35,000 range, according to Chainalysis. So there's still confidence, it looks like, from the bigger players. I just don't see how Michael Saylor can let this fail at this point,
I agree. It's really on his shoulders at this time.
Yeah.
But how do you feel, speaking of celeb endorsements for Bitcoin, how do you feel about switching out
about Lindsay Lohan tweeting about NFTs last night?
No. I didn't know about that.
Oh, yeah. She's like, the Ethereum price is so great for buying NFTs. And I'm like, you right.
She ain't wrong.
I'm like, you right. Buy them.
No, I was going to say how we switched out Elon Musk for Tom Brady.
I think it's a great trade. I mean, look, one is the greatest of all time, and the other is plays Wario on TV.
Oh my god! And for the record, I can't. That may have been the worst episode of Saturday Night Live I've ever seen.
See?
And it's
So you're saying he's the WOT. That is the worst of all time.
Yeah, the worst of all
Goat
time.
v. WOT. Who would you rather have? 7 Super Bowl championships? Or
I'd have to go back. I'm pretty sure Tom Brady hosted Saturday Night Live, so I'm going to have to go back and watch his, but I guarantee it's better because that was an atrocity.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Keegan-Michael Key episode, by the way?
No, I should have, though.
10 out of 10.
The one I loved, somebody sent, I don't know if it was you.
I think it was probably me, the Michael Jordan one.
Oh, God, that was so good. Oh, my God.
They were all good. I mean, that was the best one, but they were all like that.
That was so good because it's just so true, too. And
my God. Like the Heidi, who's one of the cast.
Oh, my God.
She plays I don't even know who the guy is, but
John, I think his name's John, the security guard or whatever. She was so good.
Just like that's why you'll watch Saturday Night Live. Like that's the reason right there.
It was good.
It's very rare.
What do we got next?
So we had a little bit of a slap on the wrist. There's a crypto exchange in the UK called Luno. I don't know if you've heard of these guys,
no.
but we do have a pretty good UK listenership, so maybe they're aware. But apparently these guys have been posting ads across the London Underground telling commuters it was time to buy Bitcoin, but they got slapped on the.
I love that. Dude, I love the visual of seeing like buy Bitcoin on the side of a bus, and then underneath just like a parentheses, not financial advice.
Yes.
Like, that's how the ad should look.
So they missed out the parentheses. They just said buy Bitcoin. So there was no clear, the ad had no clear disclaimers or warnings. And a UK advertising watchdog really cracked down on them. But they did say, they said they would fix it, and going forward, they'll be a little bit more responsible with their ads. Do you see a lot of ads in your neck of the woods for crypto exchanges, whether it's like Gemini or
Gemini's probably the one. Like
Coinbase?
That was like Gemini when the last time I was in New York City, I would see Gemini ads and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I don't remember if I've seen Coinbase ones, but Gemini was like the big one that was and
I wonder if because New York is New York and it's the worst place for crypto in the United States, from my understanding, just because the regulations and like the cash grabs.
They're dicks.
Yeah, so I wonder if that would if that would bring down the amount of advertising you could do about crypto too. You know what I mean? So maybe you wouldn't see, because it's so regulated in New York. Maybe even the advertising is that regulated, and you wouldn't see as much versus say maybe like Chicago or LA or I don't know where else you would advertise. I can't think of any other good place in the United States. Nashville.
Here's a segment. Chamber recites U.S. cities
that are good. I mean, I can name you a bunch of U.S. cities, but I'm like, I don't know too many like fantastic ones. Nashville is on the list, though.
Oh my God, Nashville's an all-timer.
Shout out to Nashville.
Nashville is one of my favorite cities.
That is the first. That's the first place I'm going to go once we open up the borders again and I'm allowed to travel. I want to go.
Should we do a live podcast there?
Bro, I think that's yeah.
Do you think
100%.
anyone would come to a live podcast if we did one?
I mean, we'd have to go to one of the towns where one of the 3 listeners are, but
yeah.
I mean,
so like, I'm sure we have a Nashville listener. Should we just? Like,
you think we have one?
Probably. Do you think we should just do it at their house?
So we do have one that lives in the city I'm in. I found out the other day.
Oh wow, really?
One listener, yeah, from my specific town.
It's not your mom?
It's not my mom. She doesn't live in my town. But I did message him. And so, gave him a shout out, or just DM'd him and told him, once things clear up, like we're still in lockdown here. Like you guys are having so much fun.
Yeah. Hey, remember when you were making fun of us?
Oh my God, I don't want to talk about it.
By the way, quick aside from last episode, we were talking about housing prices.
Oh yeah.
I've decided I have it pretty good where I live.
Yeah, you do.
I ain't complaining.
Apparently, I have it.
Obviously yours, but then we were listening. One of our, I think it was Matt, who's in our Telegram channel. He was talking about prices in Australia, and like his 3-bedroom house was an insane amount of money. So I'm not going to complain. But any luck on convincing your wife to move here or what?
Not yet. I did mention, the relative cost for having a baby, even though we're never having another baby ever again. But I feel like that was a good example.
I mean, did you just tell her that what the houses cost?
I feel the appreciation for the cost of, because her biggest fear, I don't think her fear is, what the price of houses are going to be or how cheap they are.
It's the fact that you would live next to me.
It's not even that. She would love that. Get her get me out of her hair a little bit.
Chamber, go play with your friends.
Yeah, go. No, but it's the the healthcare aspect of it is her biggest fear. But I asked her to guess what it costs you to have your baby, and she threw out a number, and I was just like, nope, significantly less than that.
Yeah,
and she was pretty impressed. So
there you go. Now again, I have insurance through my work.
Exactly, and that's what I told her. I said it's not like we would be living there without these kind of
right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyways,
exactly. All right, my next article here, news story. I think you're going to be seeing a lot of this kind of stuff coming. Apple cites cryptocurrency experience in their job post for alternative payment business development role. So that is a job that Apple is posting for. 2 years ago, I think, we saw Apple say, their Apple Pay vice president say that there was long-term potential for cryptocurrency. So now they're posting jobs.
Is that Tim Apple that said that?
I think it's Johnny Appleseed.
Johnny Appleseed, yeah, that's the Tim Apple son.
If I was ever a venture capitalist, I would name myself Johnny Appleseed Round. My mom. First of all, that's a great hashtag for the episode. So write that down.
Johnny Appleseed Round.
Yeah.
When we were in the height of Corona here in Canada, my mother was one of these people that did not listen to any protocols, and she would travel and go visit friends in different towns, and I called her Helen Corona Seed because she's just spreading that shit all over the place. I literally blame her for all of the shit that we're in right now.
That's fantastic. So anyway, a new job posting for Apple, this business alternative payments business development, says that they're looking for an individual with over 5 years of experience working with alternative payments such as digital wallets and cryptocurrency. So
does that include 5 years?
Yeah, 5 years.
I guess
we're almost there.
Almost.
We don't have any relative experience, but I
can use a wallet.
Yeah,
sort of.
Can you build one? This is actually this is biz dev, so maybe
is it the biddle section?
Maybe it's maybe it is more of a sales role, but who knows? But we also haven't seen this. Isn't the only big name brand we've seen talking about cryptocurrency or looking for experts in the past month. We actually saw Hasbro, the toy company,
right,
say that they're actively developing NFT opportunities for their gaming sphere. Also, eBay says they're going to allow for NFT sales on their platform. I think that's a fucking disaster of an idea, by the way.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
So I could just see, as a person who sells a lot of stuff on eBay, they do a horrible job at protecting the seller in a transaction. So swapping digital goods or NFTs where they're not getting anything physical and they can just return it as not as described and take your money, unbelievably bad idea. So anyway, so that's the Apple news. Lots of companies out there starting to hire for crypto jobs.
I got two two job stories for you.
By the way, just real quick, I was just on LinkedIn the other day, and if you just search cryptocurrency in the jobs,
Do I pop up?
But like hundreds of posts, hundreds of jobs. Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Big one. Gemini is hiring like crazy for for Nifty Gateway and their exchange, all kinds of stuff. So maybe you should peek into there.
I might.
Because a lot of those roles are remote.
But I think so I did apply for a cryptocurrency job.
And they laughed at you?
No. So Huobi in Canada.
I saw this job for the U.S.
So Huobi Canada is looking for a national account manager of some sort.
Yes, I saw the same job for the U.S.
So I applied and it said, bilingual, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, perfect. I speak both English and French. And it's, it's asking me questions. It's like, how fluent are you in Chinese?
Yeah, all the questions were in Chinese.
That's the bilingual you want, not
all
French.
The questions were in Chinese, and I didn't know how to answer them because I couldn't translate them. So I just clicked 2 buttons and submitted. I'm like, whatever.
I put 0 years of I don't speak Chinese at all, so I don't think I'll be getting that job.
I don't think we're gonna be getting those. But
I have a funnier story for you though. As I was applying for this job, I'm like, this is perfect content for the show. I literally applied for a job just for content. So it was a Cineplex. I think you guys have Cineplex down in the U.S. I'm pretty sure it's an American company, like the theaters.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So Cineplex is a movie theater company, and they were looking for some sort of account manager position. And I got taken to their website. And remember last week I was saying, do you get asked for race and that kind of thing?
Yes.
And it was what race are you, gender, blah, 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 blah. So I'm kind of going through it. And then I click on the gender tab and I'm thinking, I'm a pretty woke individual. Like I know what's up.
I would call you a hashtag woke bloke.
Hashtag woke bloke. I'm thinking,
God, this is a free podcast, people.
This is so good. Buckle up is all I'm telling you. So I click on the drop down menu, and I'm telling you, I was expecting 4 or 5 options. Male, female, trans male, trans female.
Nah.
Others, I don't know. I had a couple in my head.
It basically says male, female, or choose not to disclose.
Right. That's what,
most of them. Yeah.
This one had, I'm telling you, 11 options. Okay. And I'm reading through them, and it was just it was kind of what I said. It said cis male, cis female. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure those.
That's a lot of options.
I'm like, this is insane. I'm pretty sure I'm cis male, but I feel like that has a negative tone. From what I see in social
Twitter,
media.
Sure
yeah. I'm like, ooh, I don't think I want to be cis male. So I'm reading, trans male, trans female, and then there was something called two spirited, and I'm like, I don't know what that means. And then there was agender. And there was a whole bunch of them. I can't remember all of them. And I was just like, well, I'm definitely not going to get hired if I'm a cis white male. 100%. I'm like,
You can't play that game. No, that's not how it works.
Listen, I talked to my heart a little bit. I said, how do you feel? And I said, I've never felt really manly. And I asked my wife this afterwards. I'm like, I'm not a manly dude. I don't kind of play into the general, male roles that much. But I'm not a trans person by any stretch. But I'm like, agendered. I'm like, that could be me. I don't feel either. I always feel kind of like an alien walking amongst humans. And
wow.
I'm clicking agendered today, people. Agender for me. And so I don't think I'll get the job. And if they I feel like they can't call me out on it either. And honestly, it's kind of how I feel most days. I feel genderless. And I thought that was a good representation. So I may or may not get the job, but I may get the job because I clicked that button.
I think the important takeaway here is that you didn't click the button to deceive anybody. You were actually, you had a conversation with your heart.
Correct. I'm like, no one has ever accused me of being too manly. That is a fact. And
even though you appear very manly.
I walk out of the house, I look like a a right-wing white supremacist, and I feel I have to fight against my outer appearance every day. So
that could be true. I can see that.
I look. It's so bad. Sometimes I walk out of my house like, how do people not think I'm just the worst person in the world?
I mean, I do.
I know you do, but you know me.
Right. Right. So I know you're the worst person.
Right. No, that's fair. Totally reasonable. But yeah.
Although Des from our other show is quickly
he's picking up on it.
Yeah, he's quickly becoming the worst one.
He is. Yeah.
he's mischievous.
He is. He's a sinister guy. That haircut, I thought you could trust that haircut, but apparently you can't.
But all right, we got what, 2 more of these?
Yeah. I have one. I think I have one.
Because this just went absolutely off the rails.
I couldn't wait to tell you that story.
By the way, I want to go back into the comment that you made about our 3 listeners.
Yes.
We got to give ourselves a little pat on the back.
Correct. Yes. I play it down a lot.
Our downloads have, I would say, almost exponentially increased in the last month or so.
I'd say tripled. Maybe.
Okay, so maybe not exponentially.
But I mean, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
With 3x'd.
So, I keep thinking of this, like the saying, it's like, there's like a tipping point. It's like slowly, then all at once. I feel like we're right on that tipping point. You know what I mean? So
that's right.
So don't forget to tell your friends about this very mediocre podcast so we can get 3 more of you and maybe do a live one in Nashville.
That's correct. But yeah, also rate and review us if you're listening on Apple, because that helps us significantly.
Please. Yes.
But no, that's a good point. And thank you to all new users.
Yeah, if you're listening on Spotify, also hit the subscribe one or follow, whichever it is.
Whatever one it is.
That helps a lot as well. I feel like I don't know our numbers from Spotify, but I feel like we're picking up some good users there because we rank very highly when you search crypto or cryptocurrency on Spotify. And I think that just goes to show, I think that's probably because of the quantity of content we have.
So much.
Being around for 3 years is a feat in crypto. So anyway, I just wanted to say that because I am a little proud of our numbers in the last couple of weeks.
I agree. And yeah, thanks to all the new listeners that have come on.
And the old ones that don't leave.
I forget I keep forgetting who it is, but we have a couple in our Discord that like have been around since like episode 3.
JP Kaz, I think is.
I think you're right. I think JP is one of those longtime listeners. We apologize if there's anybody else from
there definitely is, but
that blows my mind.
5 a.m. Matt, guys like that. Oh, I also wanted to. I forgot. I also wanted to
brag you seek is not me, by the way.
No, I don't. I never claimed he was you. The Satoshis, Stacking Toshis is you.
Stacking Toshis is also not me. Shout out to Stacking Toshis.
I have to rub it in your face here.
Fair.
I received yesterday. You know where I'm going with this?
I know where you're going with this. It's so upsetting.
I received yesterday my Solana influencer swag pack. And I got to tell you, I haven't taken off the sweatshirt since I got it. They're high quality items. I will be rocking. I haven't posted the picture yet because I'm waiting for, to get it all together and have some time to really craft a nice tweet. But I'll be wearing this stuff all weekend out in public. So their goal has been accomplished. I will be repping hard.
Did you get the flip-flops too?
Got the flip-flops. I got a sweatshirt, a t-shirt, a pair of like shorts that could probably double as like a bathing suit, and flip-flops.
Amazing.
Solana summer, baby.
I'm very upset. I sent you the link for that after
so thank you.
claimed mine, but I still have yet to see mine. So I'm glad that you.
I mean, that's because they know who the true influencer is. Because I think I have officially passed you in Twitter followers.
Fuck off! That can't be true.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. I'm unfollowing you right now.
Yep,
I
I have 5 more Twitter followers than you officially.
No.
After being down 500 plus going into this bull run, I have made such an epic comeback.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey. Well earned.
The heat is on now.
I've been squandering my opportunities.
You had such a lead. This is like blowing a 3-0 lead. You literally had so many more followers than me.
3-1 lead. I'm 3-0 lead. 3-1 lead, maybe.
Okay, fine. You give me a little bit of credit. All right. Anyway, let's finish these news stories and get out of here.
PayPal exec says payment giant is working on crypto withdrawal capabilities. So,
thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome, people.
Jeez, you think that would be important?
So, is there another? I keep thinking, is there another?
I fucking hate PayPal so much.
Is it Cash App or is it there's another? I thought there was another one that was having this issue as well, where you could buy, but you couldn't take it. It's maybe it's Robinhood.
So Robinhood, you can buy coins, but you can't withdraw them. You can only trade them for dollars, right? So
that's what it was. Yeah,
you can buy Doge, you can't withdraw Doge. You're really only trading the spot value. You're not actually buying coins. So you don't have any custody of the coins. You can trade it back to dollars and then withdraw your dollars. But it's not actually owning the crypto, which I guess is the same on PayPal then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which I didn't realize. So the CoinDesk Consensus 2021, they had a virtual conference the other day, and Jose Fernandez de Ponte, is the vice president and general manager for PayPal blockchain, said
PayPal is evil.
Yeah, we want to make it. We want to make it as open as possible. We want to give a choice to our customers, which is when they say they want to give you a choice, they don't want to give you a choice. By the way, something that that will let them pay in any way that they want to pay. They want to bring their crypto to us. They can do it and use it in commerce. We want them to be able to take the crypto they acquired with us and take it to the destination of their choice. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there.
Hate PayPal so much. I hate them. Ugh. I'm banned from PayPal. I can no longer use it. They held over $13,000 of my money for 180 days. And I'm surprised that I actually did get it back. They have taken other people's money. At the end of the 180 days, they'll send you a bill and basically say, hey, here's all the terms and conditions we think you violated. It's $2,500 per violation. Thank you for your balance.
No way.
Yeah, no, it happens all the time. And it happened to, I recently saw, because he joined Zed Run, Chris Moneymaker, the poker player.
Yeah,
He had all his funds stolen from him by PayPal.
Really?
But he was definitely using it for gambling, though. So that is against their terms of service.
I mean,
but
I know he's a gambler and I don't gamble.
Right, but what we were doing was not gambling. We were running a legit business, and they decided they didn't like the business model we had, so they held our funds and told us we were banned. So fuck PayPal. And then that in turn got me banned from Venmo because they're the same company.
I was gonna ask that question. Is Venmo?
Yeah, so I can't use Venmo either.
Goodness,
I am just a financial criminal.
So now is Cash App similar to Venmo? Is that a similar
very
product?
Similar. Yes.
Okay.
And actually, you can buy Bitcoin on there. That's where
I knew that's where you were buying your Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure if people had I know the big thing, we don't have Venmo here in Canada, but I know just from watching TV that people Venmo each other money. Can you do the same thing with Cash App? Can you Cash App each other money? Okay.
Yep.
That's
absolutely.
interesting.
Yeah. All right, I got one more here.
You got one more?
The total stablecoin supply crosses the $100 billion mark. So the total supply of dollar-pegged, #pegging stablecoins has surged past 100 billion. Most of that growth... What are you laughing at?
I'm definitely adding pegging to this hashtag.
Please do not. Most of the growth has been driven by the two largest stable coins, USDT and USDC. By the way, speaking of crypto jobs, I think Gemini USDC?
I believe so. Yeah.
They were hiring for a job promoting or trying to grow business in USDC.
Interesting.
Yeah. So the total supply of these stablecoins has passed $100 billion, according to the Blocks data dashboard. That's a big thing, I guess, right? Because we're talking about what that means is like there's that much money on the sidelines, right?
On the side, $100 billion, man. That's when we were going through a pullback, 3 years ago, not a lot of people wanted to use Tether. And that was the main USD pair at the time, or USD peg at the time. And now there's so many, and I mean I've gone in. The conversation has changed completely on these things, and I think a lot of people are confident in converting their cryptos to a USD coin.
Whoa! Hold on, check this out. So I was just skimming through the rest of this article. Mm-hmm. The growing use of stablecoins has caught the attention of global regulators, including the USDC or the US last December. For instance, members of the U.S. Congress proposed the Stablecoin Tethering and Bank Licensing Enforcement, or the Stable Act. If the Act proposal were to become law in its current form, it would require all stablecoin issuers to have bank licenses.
That makes sense. I mean, that's what you're doing. You're essentially creating you're creating US dollars. I mean, not exactly, but if you're pegging to it and the confidence is there and the volume is there, what's the difference between USDC and a US dollar? Like really nothing.
Yeah, no, nothing.
So that does not shock me in the least that the governments of the United States are like, hey, that you're basically creating more dollars than we have. There's literally 100,000 more or 100 million more dollars than the Federal Reserve is accounting for, even though
do you know what the top 6 or let's say top 5 stablecoins are?
Tether,
according to this,
USDC, Paxos.
Yep, that's one. That would be the 5th.
What's the Binance one?
Yep, that's 3. BUSD.
BUSD. I don't know.
And then DAI,
yeah.
And then there's 3 other smaller ones that make up about 2.8% of the supply. Interesting.
I wouldn't trust that Binance one to save my life, though. Fuck.
Binance Smart Chain, man. Crazy. All right. I think that's going to do it for us. What else? Anything else you want to cover?
No.
What a show. What a morning energy show we got.
See, my voice changed so much from the start to the end.
Yeah, as soon as you hack up a lung or two in the middle of the podcast, you're ready to go.
I know. It was a long night, too. I was up late.
Dude, I'm telling you, I got like little to no sleep, but I think we brought the energy today.
I think we did. You know? I'm excited to hear all the shenanigans that happen at the Bitcoin conference in Miami. It'll be
this week or next?
I think it's this weekend. I might be wrong, but if it's not, it's very soon. And I truly think that since the world has been cooped up indoors. Do you ever want to go
to one of those things? Should we go to one sometime?
I mean, I might. Like a New York one I think I'd be into. Or a Vegas one. Those would be the only two. Miami does not. That doesn't do anything for me.
Fair.
But yeah, New York or Vegas I could see. Maybe if there's a Nashville one, I'd go to that one.
Oh, we're going to Nashville, baby. REKT Podcast coming to Nashville to one of your homes.
Maybe Chicago. Chicago too. I'd probably do a Chicago one.
Chicago's a great city.
Yeah. I've never been. I've been to the airport lots of times, but I've never actually been in Chicago.
Oh, it's great. Well, let's go. One day we'll have to actually meet in person. So,
buddy, it's so weird. It's gonna happen eventually. Either at one of our funerals, or we actually meet in real life, but it's gonna be bananas, man.
Most likely my funeral.
Are you kidding me? My rock star lifestyle.
my cholesterol is just out of control. So, anyway, that is gonna do it for us. I think we have a guest next week. Is that true?
Yeah. Possibly. We haven't booked it, but if you haven't, check it out anyways. A couple years back, we did a lot of news stories on the Quadriga CX. CEO dying mysteriously in India. And then the private keys or the seed phrases just only being on his lock laptop.
Oh man, the story's so good.
Buddy, I just listened to 2 episodes. It's even crazier.
So yeah, there's another. So there was the one you sent me, the other podcast that's doing that, and then there's the one from what's his name, Adam Lammer.
Yeah.
Or Aaron Lammer.
Yeah, Aaron Lammer. Yeah.
He's doing like a serial style one about the same thing, and his is called Exit Scam, and that I've been listening to that one. That's really good.
So the CBC one. So I got to shout out my country. CBC podcasts are fantastic. This one's called Death in Cryptoland, and they get into his. They get into the CEO's kind of like high school years and early 20s and the shit that he was doing then, and it will blow your mind. So
moral of the story is, I think that not a surprise that this happened. I think when you dig
and rightfully so. The first episode, they're really like, oh, are people just being assholes for asking for proof that he's dead, or? Right. Are they rightfully, are they in the right for questioning?
I can talk about this for a whole other hour. So hopefully we get them on the show next week, to talk about this, because it's just fascinating. So anyway, that is going to do it for myself and Chamber. Until next time, don't get wrecked, up only. And that is financial advice.
Hey everybody, thanks for listening. You can help support us by giving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and become a REKT patron by signing up for a monthly tier on patreon.com. That's patreon.com/REKT podcast. Don't get wrecked.